Okay, here we go. I'm going to try to multitask here. So I've got my mise en place for the rice. I've got the two peppers here. I was going to show you how I blacken those on the over the fire, and I've got everything here to make the batter. So we're going to try to get through all this without making it a huge, long video. And if I forget something or I miss explaining something, if you have any questions, you can always ask me those questions and I'll get back to you on it. So first thing we're going to start, because this takes a little bit of time, is, and if you don't have a gas stove, you can do it on your grill outside. Actually, you know, if I wasn't lazy and I want to go out there and take the cover off the grill, I could do those out there. But this works great right here. And they're going to get black, so that's what you want. You want it to be black. We're going to put it in a bag once they're black to let them steam a little bit. The skin's going to come right off. So while that's working there, we're going to get the rice going. So I'm using just a little bit of oil. I'm going to put some butter in there. Ready? And then I've got one medium-sized tomato diced. I've got some green pepper, a half an onion, a couple cloves of garlic, and then I've got some chicken stock. Also, I have about 1 2/3 cups of rice approximately, and I rinsed it really well. It's important to rinse the rice because if you don't, it's gonna stick. It'll be sticky rice, and unless you're having Chinese food, you don't want sticky rice. All right, so we will saute the onions, the pepper, and the garlic first. They're getting black. They smell. I love the way they smell when they're cooking. Maybe I won't turn that on. It'll make a lot of noise. So over here, I've got let's see, 2, 4, 6. I've got egg yolks, 8 egg yolks, and the whites over here. And when I'm making the rellenos, come on, Dean, what's going on here? I figure for 2 chili rellenos is what I'm normally making. I use 3 eggs. So depending on how many chilies you're making, this time I'm making 6 because I'm making 1 for Janice and I each, and then Roy and his girlfriend are coming over for dinner. So that needs 4, and I'm making 2 extras so they can take some home for them. Alrighty. So you just want to get the peppers and the onions translucent, so they're just soft. I'm going to add the rice. And I'll saute that for a second. Make sure it gets coated. And then the thing with rice, I have always, when I make rice, I just put the rice in a pot and I bring liquid. So when I stick my finger in there and I touch the rice, it comes up 1 digit above the rice, and
the water comes up 1 digit.
The water, the stock, whatever. Yes, I'm sorry. And that always seems to work out perfect for me. So I don't really sit and worry about the ratio of water to rice. That's just the way I do it. Okay, so we've got that. Now we'll add the tomato. And then this is the Goya seasoning. It's just a all-purpose Spanish type seasoning, but I like it because
Show them the package.
it has a achote in it, and so that helps give the rice a really nice flavor plus some color. All right. Now, chicken stock. Needs a little bit more. And then I'm going to turn that down a little bit because you want that to basically simmer. We'll get back to that. All right, see what we got here? How black that is? You think, oh my God, it's burnt, but it's not. Put it in this bag. You want to get as much air as you can out of it because the bag holds the heat in, and that's going to create the steam so that it pulls the skin away from the pepper. And we'll see that in just a second. How that all works out. Okay. So while those peppers are in this bag steaming, we're going to make the batter. So the egg whites separated. Make sure when you separate the whites from the yolks, you don't get any yolk in with the whites, because if you do, they're not going to whip up right. And this is almost like making a meringue. You just want to get them nice and fluffy, bring them to a soft peak. And then we'll fold in the egg yolks. And I'm going to fold in a little bit of flour. And this is going to be a nice, fluffy, light batter. We're getting there. Okay. Now we're going to put the yolks in. And just a little bit of flour. Not a lot. So you just come around from the sides when you're folding a batter like this. You just go through the side and back into the center. And you're getting there. The whole yolk hiding in there. Okay. Nice even color. Now, the batter's ready. I have to do this over here, James. So this is the Anaheim pepper. A lot of restaurants use Anaheim peppers for their rellenos. I typically use the poblanos just because by looking at a pepper, you can't tell if it's hot or not. And Anaheim peppers can go from just sweet as you could be to blow the top of your head off hot. So I don't like to take any chances because well, Janice doesn't like hot food. She can't, well, not she doesn't like it, she can't tolerate it. So I always try to make one of these in a poblano, because even though you think poblanos aren't hot, they have the potential to be hot. So make one of each, and that way if one pepper's hot, she can always have the other one. See how easy the skin comes off when you peel it like that? I mean, it literally just comes right off. Okay. Next thing. Where'd my knife go? So I always, you know, when you cook the pepper, obviously it's flat like this one too. So I just come from the side and I cut it along the side and then I open it up. And this one, not much in the way of seeds. I just take those seeds out. And then same thing here. Now, I go in, I just don't cut too far in, but just detach those seeds right there. And it's not the seeds that are hot. That membrane right there that holds the seeds together, that's the hot part. So a lot of people think it's the seeds that are hot. It's really not. Okay, now, here's what we're gonna do. I've got some cheese already shredded. I'm gonna stuff this puppy right here. And you can be generous with the cheese because, you know, it's gonna melt down anyway, so.
Tell them again what kind of cheese you use.
This is a cheddar jack blend. And I shredded it myself. I don't like to buy the pre-shredded, pre-shredded it if I don't have to. They put a coating on the cheese when they shred it so it doesn't stick together. And I just don't like that. All right, so a bit of fun for here.
Do you want me over there?
Yeah. Oh, it's boiling too hard. There you go. The other thing with rice is when it's cooking, just let it cook. Don't get in there and start stirring it around. You don't want to do that.
We're at 14.
14 minutes already? Okay. So what we're gonna do? No, stop. I'm gonna do this pepper, and then I'm gonna go ahead and finish it. So I'll show you how I do the batter and what it looks like, and then I'll finish it in the oven, and we can come back and do a quick picture of the pepper on a plate, finished. Because what I'll do is I do the batter, then I use this predominantly because I like it's easy to clean up. I put a little sauce on the bottom, a little bit of sauce on top of the pepper. I put it in, and remember the pepper's already cooked, so basically you're melting the cheese inside. So maybe 10 minutes or so, and then I'll put enchilada sauce on top, and then the shredded cheese on top. Put it back in the oven, melt the cheese, and we're good to go. Okay, so here we go. So what I do, I'll take a little bit of the batter. And you know, I had a guy, a Spanish guy, a Mexican guy worked with me, showed me one time how to make the batter. And then, you know, he wanted to just drop it in the fryer. And man, they just didn't come out looking very nice. So I figured out if I put some batter down first and set the chili on top of it. And then you know, it's a little more it's a little time consuming, but at the end of the day, they really make a nice rellenos, and they look really pretty, which is, to me, is important too. Always about eat with your eyes first. That's what they say. And of course, not everything that's good is pretty, but you can make it that way. That's the way to go. We're just about ready to flip this puppy over. Now, if you got a lot of grease in your pan, be real careful here that you're not splashing yourself. And actually, there's a step here that I kind of forgot about. Normally, I'll dust these peppers with a little bit of flour, just a light dusting of flour, and that way the batter sticks a little better, and this won't happen. It's still going to be okay because we're going to have that covered with sauce anyway. But preferably, I should have done that. So, I'll put a little sauce, the enchilada sauce that we made here. Let's see what the other side looks like here. There you go. Okay. So, we put a little more sauce on here. We will pop that puppy in the oven. Maybe about 10 minutes or so. And we'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. That's it.